Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and now that the Battlefield 1 open beta is here, it is time that we all got into the Battlefield mindset, because Battlefield's unlike most other first-person shooters out there. Now, it's no secret that here on NerosCinema, I run a primarily Call of Duty YouTube channel, and that my audience is primarily Call of Duty fans, but it's also no secret that this year, Battlefield 1 has a ton of hype, and a lot of people that were primarily COD-only guys are going to be trying out the Battlefield franchise. So what I want to do with this video is try to get those guys into the Battlefield mindset. Now, if you're a longtime veteran of the Battlefield franchise, a lot of this stuff is going to be obvious to you. But if you're somebody who is making the transition and trying out Battlefield for the first time, I have a feeling this video is going to help you enjoy your Battlefield experience a little bit more. It's important to remember that when you're playing Battlefield, you are playing a class-based first-person shooter. Yes, you do get access to submachine guns by playing the Assault class, but by also picking the Assault class, you are saying to your squad, as well as your team, that you are going to be the guy to try to take out the enemy vehicles. You will do your best to take out jeeps or tanks or whatever it is they try to throw at you. That's what you're saying when you pick the Assault class. Same thing goes for Medic. I see so many people picking Medic solely because they can heal themselves and use rifles, but when you pick Medic, you're saying to your squad, and more importantly, the entire team as a whole, that yes, you are the Medic, come to you, you will throw them down health, you will revive them if they die, you will do your best to help out your team. The biggest thing that I've noticed so far in the open beta is with this giant influx of new Battlefield players, nobody seems to be really playing their classes. Like, we have recon players who aren't spotting people on the other team, and spotting is a giant thing in the Battlefield franchise. Like, if you're shooting at somebody, make sure they're spotted just in case they kill you. If you see a tank off in the distance, spot it, make sure everybody in that area is aware that there is going to be a tank there. Same thing goes for planes. Same thing goes for every person on the other team that you see. Make sure that they are all spotted. But yeah, we see a lot of recon guys not spotting. We see a bunch of support guys not throwing down ammo. We see a bunch of medics not reviving teammates. I'm yet to be revived in the open beta. I had mentioned that I've never been revived in my video yesterday where I was talking about my first impressions of the Battlefield 1 open beta so far, and that still reigns true. I've played maybe 3 or 4 hours since I made that video, and I'm still yet to be revived a single time by anybody. I see a bunch of people playing the Assault class, yet doing nothing to try to take out the vehicles that are on objectives. When you're playing Battlefield, you are playing a class-based first-person shooter, and that's one of my favorite things about it. I try my best to be the best medic that I can be. It's one of my favorite ways to play because I love helping other people, and I also love the ability to be able to heal myself. It's a match made in heaven. I love playing the medic, and so that's my advice for a lot of newer players. When you start playing the game, find a role that you really like playing, and then try your best to be the best that you can be at that role. When I first started playing Battlefield, it was in Bad Company 2, and at that time, the Assault class was actually called Engineer. You had the ability to heal vehicles and repair them, if you will, and you're also able to take out enemy vehicles with launchers or anti-tank mines and stuff like that, and that's all I tried to do, was be the best engineer I could possibly be, make sure that the opposing team's vehicles were basically a non-factor in the fight, and that's what I did my best to try and do. And now that I've kind of moved on from playing an engineer, I still like it to some extent, but I really like playing the medic now, so now I just want to be the best freaking medic I can possibly be. So remember, when you're playing Battlefield, you are playing a class-based first-person shooter. You're not just picking a class because, hey, this class has rifles and I want to use a rifle. One of my favorite aspects of the Battlefield franchise would be the vehicles. We've got tanks, we've got jeeps, we have a wide variety of ground vehicles, to be perfectly honest. We've got planes. In older Battlefield games, we would have jets and helicopters. I love vehicles. It's one of the things that really separates the Battlefield franchise from the rest of the shooters out there. I mean, I've played so many TDM style games where we all have guns, you know, it's not interesting to me, right? But what separates Battlefield is the classes along with the vehicles. The vehicles act almost as a wild card, and if you're somebody who is not used to having vehicles, it may be a little bit different for you when you first start. It may be a bit of a system shock realizing that there's a freaking tank across from you, and yeah, a player is controlling it, and yeah, he's gonna freaking wreck your face if you don't play it right. That's one of the cool things about the Battlefield franchise. So try to embrace the vehicles. Now, of course, there are game modes available in Battlefield that don't have vehicles, and for me personally, boring, man. Domination's pretty fun. I enjoy Domination in Battlefield 4, but I really enjoy Conquest and Rush because vehicles actually play a factor. I love trying to master the vehicles, and you'll notice it when you first start playing. Like, if you try controlling a Jeep, it's pretty apparent that you've never really driven a Jeep before in Battlefield, and you're not really helping your team or putting them in a good spot. But if you find somebody who's a really good driver, it's like, all right, I like this driver. He's always put me in a good spot. I'm always able to put down suppressing fire. I'm always able to get kills. It's just, I love this driver. Same thing goes for pilots. I mean, I've talked about it before, but if you find a good pilot, it's one of the coolest things in gaming. And it's cool trying to get to that point where you're trying to learn to become a good pilot. I brought up the story before, but going back to like Battlefield 4, it's very apparent when somebody is a first-time pilot. You spawn into a helicopter, you start going like maybe 10 feet up in the air, and then you immediately crash into a tree because that guy has no idea what he's doing. Whereas if you get a good pilot, it's like, this is amazing. This guy is always putting us in a good spot. It's apparent when you have a good pilot or a good driver or somebody that's really good in vehicles, and that's just another layer of the Battlefield franchise. So my advice for anyone who's new to Battlefield, embrace the vehicles, try your best to work with them. When I first started playing Battlefield 1, even as like a veteran of the Battlefield franchise, even I was like, I don't want to be in this tank. I want a run and gun, you know? But at times it's like, you need to get in that tank or you're going to freaking die. You guys are surrounded. You have this tank here. Why stand outside and be a target dummy? Get inside the tank, do your best to try and clear out the opposing team, and wait for reinforcements to show up. Like, it's one of the coolest things about the Battlefield franchise, working with the vehicles, and it's going to take some time to get used to, but once you do, you're definitely going to enjoy Battlefield a lot more by using the vehicles that are available to you. The final thing I want to talk about in this video, guys, and this is probably the most subjective part of the entire video, is get immersed. Get immersed in Battlefield. Most shooter games, it's tough to get immersed in the world, but in Battlefield, the map is so giant, the games are so long, you really have time to smell the roses, and you really have time to think about what you're doing and think about what's actually happening around you. Now, this is one of my favorite clips, and when you watch this clip, you'll probably think to yourself, like, this is so boring. Like, what's he doing? He's just laying there. This is so cool to me. So I'm laying here next to this building in a spot that I hope nobody's actually going to find me. I'm trying my best to capture this flag. I know there's going to be a lot of points if I can capture this flag. And leveling up in Battlefield is a very slow process. It takes a very long time. And so when you do level up, it feels really good. It feels really, really good to level up in Battlefield and unlock new things. But trying to get these points, trying to capture this flag, I know for a fact there are players around me. I know for a fact that there could at any time could have like a Jeep show up or a tank show up, and I'm just laying here hoping nobody actually finds me. I'm noticing the sand below me. I'm noticing the architecture of the building that I'm laying next to. I'm really just soaking in my entire environment while I'm laying here trying to capture this flag. Again, I don't want this to be all about Call of Duty, but that's something I don't get when I play Call of Duty. When I'm playing COD, I jump on B, I try to get a kill or two, I hop off after I capture it, and then I run off and do my thing. In Battlefield, you can really take the time to smell the roses. You can really take the time to get immersed in the world that you're playing in, and that is my biggest thing for all of you that I want you guys to take away from this. When you're trying to get into the Battlefield mindset, get immersed in the world. It's a really cool experience. That's one of the best things about Battlefield. I've talked about it before, but like going inside like a helicopter and having that helicopter get shot down and landing behind enemy lines and somehow making it back to safety, going through hell and high water just to get back to where your teammates are at or towards an objective. Like, it's so cool when stuff like that happens. These are experiences that can only happen in a sandbox shooter like Battlefield, where there are so many wild cards. Like, you have all these people on the ground, 32 people on each team, but you've also got Jeeps, you've also got tanks, you've also got planes up in the sky that you can spawn in and then jump out of and land on the ground and keep on running. That's the coolest thing about the Battlefield franchise for me, would be the immersion that I get while I play. I feel like I'm really doing something. Sure, you're not going to get as many kills while playing Battlefield as you would in like a game like Call of Duty or any other game out there, but every kill you get feels really good because they are kind of few and far between compared to other shooter games out there. So embrace it. Embrace the vehicles, embrace the class that you're trying to master, and just embrace the world around you. And if you do that, I think you're going to really enjoy the Battlefield franchise. That's the reason why I enjoy it, and that's the reason why I didn't like playing Battlefield Hardline a whole lot, is I didn't get those same experiences. When I was laying there capturing a flag, it's like, okay, so I'm a robber, and I'm trying to capture this flag from the cops and stuff like that. You know, just I wasn't immersed in the theme of Battlefield Hardline. But the feeling that I get in Battlefield 1 is the same feeling that I got back in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2, and it's my favorite thing about the Battlefield franchise. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. Drop me a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.